broadcasting stations.
It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Welcome in. Middle of the week, Wednesday. Did you see the end of an era last night? Do we know this is the end of the era? We watched Golden State last night absolutely get abused by Sacramento. Is this the last time we see Steph, Clay, and the bad guy? Are those three done? Is the Golden State era now tarnished? Or I shouldn't say tarnished. Over? Is it done? LeBron's era is not over. The Lakers are officially in as the 7th seed. They knock off New Orleans. Zion Williamson played great. Had 40 points. 3 minutes to go in the game. It's tied. What do you think would happen? He got hurt. Is that not a microcosm of his entire career? So now the Pelicans will have to play against Sacramento for the right to be the 8th seed. I do like the concept of the play-in and the way they do it. And now you know LeBron and his guys have a chance. Now they're going to play the Nuggets. They certainly weren't dodging the Nuggets like some people had suggested. That was really what was on the stage last night. By the way, TV ratings, 9.5 million for the Masters, 2.5 million for the WNBA draft. Wow. Those numbers down for the golfers, way up. We will talk golf with golf picks coming up in about 20 minutes. Our next segment last week, it was Mickey who picked Scotty Scheffler. Will he pick him again? This week, of course, he's going to go fourth. Zach, the lowest. We'll give you the numbers when Johnny and Mickey Barker join us, but Zach Boyd will go first. Johnny second. I'm third. Mickey Barker will be bringing up the rear with his good week or his good pick of Scotty Scheffler. I'm going to get in the NBA in a second, but I just touch base transfer portal because we mentioned no coach is going to do a depth chart because they don't want to lose very many players. We see that Memphis have now lost 4 players to the portal. But they brought 20 transfers in at the end of last season. So you had to figure that some would leave. Diego Brumfield, who played a bunch, he left. The surprise, a little bit to me, but I get it. So Jay Ducker came in 2 years ago, was really good. Last year, played a game, was okay. I think he got injured, and he made the decision himself. He wanted to redshirt. He wanted to use the year, rest up, get completely healthy, and come back. And he saw how good Blake Watson was. You still had Sutton Smith emerging. You had Brandon Thomas ahead of him. He thought, you know what, I'll wait a year. Well, he waited a year. Blake Watson graduated. In comes Mario Anderson, which is this great story. Remember, he was an unbelievable lower division player, went to South Carolina, had a heck of a year. Could have gone anywhere, fell in love with Memphis and the running back room and the running back coach and Ryan Silverfield, and he signed here. So I'm not shocked totally that Jay Ducker decided to duck out. So he's entered the portal. But in all honesty, he was the 4th guy in the room. Anderson, Smith, who we've been hearing for years is an NFL potential type guy, Kenny Gainwell kind of a guy who started to emerge at the end of last year. He's 2. And Brandon Thomas, who'd been number one for a long time, he's probably 3 in that room. So Tucker is gone. I don't know. The defensive back Maurice Hampton, who you might recall was a star in 2 sports at MUS. I can remember Glenn Rogers Jr., who will be joining us in a couple of months here to talk high school football, as he always does. Glenn Rogers Jr. was going, this guy could be a pro in either sport. Well, things didn't work out so well at LSU. He came to Memphis, and it didn't work out here. So I don't know what the story of Maurice Hampton truly is, but I know he's decided to go. So he's the second of the defensive backs to leave. I guess if you count Joel Williams, who left a while ago, there's 3. And then Jarrett Anderson, who's a pretty decent freshman, who played in 7 games last year, defensive lineman. I have no idea what the story on that one is, but he's gone. So those are the guys that are gone. And after the spring game on Saturday, there probably will be more that will leave. And I will tell you, the transfer portal works 2 ways. Not only is it players that look and they go, ooh, I'm 4th or I'm 5th or I'm 6th on the depth chart. I need to go find a new place so I can get some PT. I have been recruited over. Not only is that an opportunity for somebody to find their right level and play, it is also a tool that coaches will use where they go, we only get 85 scholarships and you're not good enough. Get in the portal. We'll make it look like it's you, but we're telling you to go. And that's the way it works at least 50% of the time. Keep that in mind. So I believe Ryan Silverfield in the last couple of days has talked about it. He does not think he will bring a lot of people in because they got 20 guys in at the end of last year. He likes his team, you could say. He likes the situation with depth at almost every spot. Now, he tells you there are surprises. And a player will just say, I'm not a good fit for this, for me. And will enter the portal. That happens. And if that's the case and he's surprised, then you have a need. If you lose too many guys in the portal, you lost 3 defensive backs, really, with Williams. Maybe you need somebody in that position for depth. So then you go to the portal, because there's plenty there, and you look for that position. That can occur too. He basically said they might add a few more, but that will not be a big tool for them this coming summer, spring, summer. And the spring football game is on Saturday, and I heard Kobe Drake talking with the guys, with Greg and Eli, and they are going to make it competitive. There will be a blue versus a gray. Should be a lot of fun. I hope you come at 3 o'clock at the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. I'm not sure if they're sitting you on one side. I know this is the last time we'll be using the press box because they're moving everything to the east side from the west side in the fall. But Zach, do you have an update? Are they going to sit everywhere? Because for the USFL, they're sitting mainly. They're sitting on the east side, aren't they? Isn't that where they're everybody's on the east side except for the press. For the first Showboats game, they were.
I think so, because that's where the camera angle is at.
Yeah, they've moved. Like last year, the USFL used the suites on the east side, but this year they're not, which is, maybe some of it's understandable. I'll tell you why. The one bad part about being on the west side, on the east side, is if you're playing in the afternoon, that's where the sun is. Comes directly at you. So that's also where the sun comes to the cameras. So I don't know if that was the reasoning, but they've moved the press box for the UFL games, for the Showboats games. They're back on the east, rather the west side. And the cameras are now on the west side. So the home field side for the Showboats, it will not be for Memphis, but for the Showboats is going to be that west side. So the sun's going to be in your face. I know that Ryan Silverfield said when they were talking about moving the press box and everything, they said, we're staying where we are. because I don't want that sun in my eyes during day games, and I don't blame him at all for that. But that's where they're sitting for the UFL games. I don't know what the case will be on Saturday, but I hope you all will come. Should be a lot of fun. In the meantime, the NBA last night, it was a heck of a game. New Orleans led early. Lakers came back. Lakers built a big lead. Back comes the Pelicans. Zion Williamson had an unbelievable game. This was Zion at his best, at what you thought a number one pick should be, a dominating kind of a guy. They didn't even use Brandon Ingram down the stretch. I didn't understand that. But Zion's the guy. 40 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 minutes to go in the game. He goes in, makes a beautiful floater, comes down, grimaces, motions to the bench, goes to the bench, throws down his towel, and heads off to the locker room. Left leg soreness. Now, Zach, if it's really just left leg soreness, aren't you trying to walk it off a little bit? And aren't you hanging around that bench? And don't you try to get back in the game? A critical game that if you win, you're in. You're the 7th seed. You don't have to worry about another game on Friday like they do now. You're playing. You're gutting it out. If it's just left leg soreness, this has to be more than left leg soreness. This has to be left leg pain, possible injury, MRI today to check on it, or you're playing your butt off through the pain.
Yeah.
Am I right?
No, you're right. Shams, he tweeted out about a couple hours after the game saying that he believes that Zion has suffered a left hamstring injury, which would make more sense.
Yeah.
Because Zion uses athleticism to get points and, be a plus player on the floor for them. So if he couldn't move or he couldn't explode.
Have you ever had
ground,
a hamstring injury?
Say that again?
Have you ever had a hamstring injury?
I had some soreness.
I am going to tell you, I played softball into my 50s. It is the reason I had to retire from softball. It is the reason a lot of guys who get older stop playing basketball or they stop playing baseball, whatever it may be. It's because they keep getting their hamstrings injured. You gain weight, like me, and you still try to make moves like you did when you were younger and thinner, and you hurt yourself. If you have a hamstring injury, if it's a slight tear, you can't move. So you can't come in and try to gut it because you don't have the ability. Your hamstring does not function. You can't make a quick first step. You can't jump. And let's face it, Zion is a big dude, even though he's lost weight and he's played all year. I give him a lot of credit for that. He did try to slim down. I think he changed his diet. He made a conscious effort that he was going to play the whole year. But when you're still that big and your game is predicated on the kind of moves he makes, that's what makes LeBron so incredible, because he's so big and makes so many incredible moves now at his advanced age. It's incredible that he doesn't injure himself. Now, maybe a lot of that is because he spends $1 million a year on conditioning and diet. I give him all the salutes in the world. But if he's got a hamstring injury, he's not playing Friday either. And I like Sacramento big in that game if Zion doesn't play.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it was already hard enough to kind of keep track of his injuries before this season, before this healthy season for him. And if he can't jump and just do normal cuts, then it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to sit him.
Why do you think they did not use Ingram last night down the stretch, especially with Zion out of the game?
I don't think Ingram was good down the stretch.
Man,
he wasn't good.
I mean, he's a guy that they got to have him play well if Zion doesn't play. That's for sure. McCollum did not have a good game either. So I like Sacramento in the game to be the 8th seed for sure. So let's give kudos to LeBron because they've done it again. He had 23 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. So he's a rebound and an assist away from a triple-double. Making critical shots when they have to. Coming up with plays when they have to. I say this again because I never loved LeBron, but, the more you watch this guy at this age deliver the way he does, I mean, let's be honest. Michael Jordan did not play this great as an older player.
No.
I don't think LeBron was as good as Michael Jordan at their peak. I still think Michael's the greatest ever who played. I'm a little biased being from Chicago, loving that Bulls team. But no one that I can remember played this good as an old guy in all facets of the game. You can go to Kareem, who played late in his day, but he skyhooked. He didn't have he couldn't run the floor. He couldn't defend. He couldn't do the things that LeBron James does. LeBron James is incredible for the ability to have kept his sharpness, his level of play at such a peak at, 39 years old now?
Yeah, he'll be 40 next season.
It's phenomenal. And then when Anthony Davis wants to play, 20 and 15, 3 key blocks in the game. He was superb. Russell was good last night. Reeves is always good. Now, I don't think they have a chance against Denver. I think they're like 1-7 this year, by the way, against the Denver Nuggets, which is why everybody was saying, don't win the game. Try to play OKC. And I salute them for not. They wanted to win the game. They won the game. The LeBron injury, the Zion injury certainly played a role in that game. And then Sacramento put an end, I think, to the Warriors dynasty. Do you believe those 3 guys come back next year?
No. And I was kind of surprised that Clay was brought back before this season.
I was not surprised because they thought they could get one more year out of him. The guy, I think he was 0 for 10 last night, right?
Yeah, he had like 5 points.
I mean, he was really bad last night.
Yes.
I hate to say it. Steph Curry, who in the Game 7 against Sacramento last year had 50 points. He had a guy who was a non-drafted 2-way player to begin the year on him, and he hounded him. They just didn't have a chance. They didn't have a chance, and I think and this was, you had a Bulls era that was amazing, and it had all those 70 wins.
Mm-hmm.
This was the next era. This was the next dynasty. These guys were great. There's no question how good they were together. But I think that is all over for sure. And I saw everybody talking about how Clay was, the organization would bring Clay back. I don't know if it will. I wouldn't bet my house on that. Now, Steph Curry will be back.
Too many big money contracts. And then you're talking about Steph getting almost, $60 million a season?
Well, he's worth it because he can still play. But I'm not sure I'd invest. I know I wouldn't invest any more money in Klay Thompson. If you say to Klay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring you back. You're going to be the 12th guy. And we're going to pay you the veteran minimum. And he accepts that to be a part of it with all the chemistry that he might bring and the leadership that he might bring, and comes in and plays, 10, 12 minutes in 40 of the games. I'm good with that. But I don't think he can play on a regular basis. He's lost his legs, which means he's lost his shot. And if he can't shoot, he doesn't have the other stuff that some of the other great players they have. So I don't know what happens. I don't know that they would bring him back. The East starts tonight. You got Philly and you got Miami playing for the 7th seed. My Philly, it's in the city of brotherly love. Philly's a 5.5-point favorite. Embiid's record, the 76ers with Embiid in healthy and playing, it's like 31-8, right? It's crazy good. I don't think Miami has a chance. Although Miami's always great in the playoffs. They somehow figure out a way. Jimmy Butler comes alive. I don't see that happening. And Atlanta's at Chicago. The Bulls are 3.5-point favorites. That's because it's at home. I think Miami will beat Chicago in the elimination game anyway. But that's what happens in the East. By the way, are you with me on the West? You think in the end Sacramento's the one that will become the 8th seed?
Yeah.
Because I just don't. If it's a hamstring thing, I don't see how Zion is going to play. Last thing, we take a break. We're going to talk some golf and make our golf picks for sure. That is Team USA was announced yesterday. It was Kawhi Leonard getting the last invitation in. If he's healthy, you want him, right? I mean, he's as good as anybody in the league. I love Kawhi when he's healthy. But the guy doesn't play half the time. That's why I have no faith whatsoever in the Clippers advancing far. I know some people think, oh, no, they're going to come together. Something, either Kawhi or George are going to get hurt, and they're not going to play. So they're going to go out. But Kawhi got in. You got LeBron, Steph, KD, Embiid, Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Tyrese Halliburton. Here's the one, because Triple J didn't get in. And I know Triple J really wanted in. And I appreciate Triple J playing in the last go-round in those games last year when all these big stars were waiting for the Olympics. He put on the USA jersey. I appreciated that. I think when you get Bam Adebayo, you're looking for a guy who can rebound. That's the piece of the puzzle you want, and we all have to admit that's not Triple J. He's a good defender, a really good rim protector. He is an excellent scorer now, but they got enough of that. They need a guy who can go in and do the dirty work and rebound. Set screens. Bam Adebayo can do that. And I understand that was why the decision was made for him to be on Team USA. I can't imagine. I haven't seen the German team. I haven't seen the French team. I haven't seen the Spanish team. Those European teams have become much, 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 much better. But I can't imagine anybody beating that team. Can you? Hey, boy, can anybody beat that team?
No. Canada might have a run for their money. I can imagine Canada going to be a problem.
I don't even know. Is the Soviet Union going to be in these Olympics?
I don't think so. I don't even know if they're qualified, to be honest with you.
I can't imagine this team losing. But then again, I will say beware, because the world, the foreign players, which are now a third of the NBA or more, they have caught up. They are much better than you might think. We're sitting in the Family Leisure Studios. Don't forget the factory direct pricing sale still going on. We're midway through April, and I hear it's really going well. Billy, Lindsay, they put these things together for a reason. And if you walk in that store, you're going to go, whoa, it looks fantastic. Patio season. They got the latest patio furniture with all the new fabrics and the designs, and these new materials seem to last forever. They do last longer than they used to. Pool season's right around the corner. If you buy now, you get in line for your pool to be installed. You want to be first on the list. It's all happening right now. At I-40 and Whidden Road, just go a little bit to the north, look to your east, and there you will see this factory direct pricing sale going on at Family Leisure. And I got to tell you this because I'm excited. It doesn't happen all the time. And for a while, they weren't doing this at all anymore because of COVID. But it's over now. And that means Sunday, Dinstall is once again opening their doors for the spring open house. You bring your family, you bring your friends, you get to smell the chocolate, taste the sweet brittle, and watch how they put the magic in the chocolate-covered strawberries. Yeah, you'll see the fondant that they put around the strawberry. They won't tell you what's in the fondant. It's too special. Then they enrobe it in the chocolate. You get to watch it all. It's really a cool thing. And then they give you the treats. This Sunday only, 12 to 4, Candy Kitchen Tour at Pleasant View. But all stores will be open, by the way. If you don't want to go there, you won't get to watch how the candy's made, but you can still get all of the treats and the tastes, the samples, and you get a discount on your purchase at all of the locations. Laurelwood, Germantown, Collierville, downtown. But you really want to go to Pleasant View. Take the tour. See how the candy's made. Let the kids smile all day long. It's happening this Sunday at Dinstall's. Golf picks are happening in just a moment. That's right around the corner on Wolo and Friends.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
You can't say that.
But it's true.
You just made that up.
No, I didn't. You can get to any Central Barbecue location from anywhere in Memphis in 10 minutes, depending on traffic.
You made that up.
Try me.
Bartlett.
The Summer Avenue Central Barbecue.
Germantown.
Not Memphis, but the popular location.
South Memphis.
Downtown.
Olive Branch.
Again, not Memphis, but the South Haven Central Barbecue.
I still don't think you can say you can get to there any of them in 10 minutes.
Well, that's why it's depending on traffic.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like, I couldn't do pull-ups. I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
It's the Dodge Power Shot Day's last call, and that means it's time to get your best deal at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Feel exhilarated in 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4, $25,889 or $389 a month. And get yours before they're gone. 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $29,969 or $459 a month. And during Ram Truck Month, get 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab, $6,000 off MSRP. Plus 0% for 72 months on select models. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motorcars.
All 75 months at 8.99%. Renegade Triple P 56,520. MSRP 31,095. Charger PH 651,421. MSRP 36,420. Ram RG 193,472. MSRP 65,925. AP offer at 72 months. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Take me to the pilot of your soul. Take me to the pilot, lead me to the train. Take me to the pilot, I'm gonna stay.
All right, the Masters is in the books. You know, it may be if you pick Scotty Scheffler, you'll win this year. The only thing that's going to stop Scotty Scheffler is his wife giving birth, which could happen this week. So beware if you're thinking about picking him. at the RBC Heritage, also known as Hilton Head. Zach, give us the financial breakdown. I know Barker was so smart. He took Scotty Scheffler. He wins. So what is that, 3.6 mil?
3.7.
3.7 mil now. Wow. All right, so he got that's because you got more than one person.
Yeah.
Right? So he's got 3.7 mil. I guess I was second. What did I have?
You have 8,081K.
880,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Backward.
No problem.
Backwards.
Then Johnny Lyon third.
752.
So he's close. And then you bring up the rear. What did you have?
With 2,000.
200,000?
200,000. 32.
Okay. So you get to go first this week, but first we want to talk a little golf. So let me bring in Johnny Lyon, who is the former publisher and editor of Mid-South Golfer and the guy that runs City Golf in an incredible way for a number of years. That would be the one and only Mickey Barker, who joins us now. All right, guys, and I'll start with you, Mickey. The numbers are in. The Masters, I couldn't find out what is the highest rated Masters ever, but I got to believe it's in the 20 millions, I would think. Last year it was at 12 million viewers on average. This year down to 9.5 million viewers. You think about it, the women's Final Four, the championship game with Caitlin Clark, had 18 million, peaked at 24. I mean, what in the world is happening to golf? Is it the LIV breakup? Well, you can't say it's the LIV PGA breakup because the best LIV players were playing in this tournament. What do you think has happened to PGA Tour golf and popularity when it comes to TV ratings? Good morning, Mickey.
Good morning, Dave. I don't know. I'm wondering, are those television numbers, does that take into account people that are watching, like on Masters.com? So I'm just wondering if the viewers are diluted.
Well, it might be. First of all, they're down 20% from a year ago, right? And it was on CBS both times, so that can't be the problem. The ones on ESPN, and I point to Tiger because he was still a story when it was on ESPN trying to make history with the consecutive cuts record, and he did at 24. They were up 15%. So it has to be part Tiger Woods. And it's unfortunate, guys, the most popular golfer on the planet is still a 48-year-old guy whose body is breaking down. I mean, that's the truth. Johnny, your thoughts on what happened?
The attendance numbers have to be different this year because CBS, didn't actually show the Masters a lot when they could have.
What do you mean?
It was on other channels, the TBS, TNT. But, Tiger Woods falling off, shooting 82. I'm sure a lot of people quit watching. I mean, there's a lot of diehard Tiger Woods fans. He did make the cut, and it was very admirable of him. I mean, making the cut was not easy, and the weather was nuts, and had to play, 25 holes the second round, and early in the morning, he looked pretty creaky. But, yeah.
Let's be honest. If golf is going to count on Tiger to keep bringing people to the table, they're in trouble. They have got to find new stars. Tiger Woods, it's pretty evident to me, he's the greatest golfer of all time. You can make your debate with him and Jack Nicklaus, and I can be convinced either way. But I'm also certain Tiger's not going to be Tiger ever again. Too many surgeries, too much stuff, and he's 48 years old.
Totally agree.
That's correct.
He did make the cut, and that was good.
Say that again, Mickey.
That's correct. He's not going to be Tiger again. He's going to get some TV time when he does play, but if he plays 6 times a year, that's going to be a lot.
Right.
We have to count on other stars carrying the load.
All right. So I'll start with Johnny on this one. Then Mickey, you take over. Is Is this going to be the Scotty Scheffler era? We've seen eras. Post Tiger, we saw Rory with a run. We saw Spieth with a run. Is this going to be a little bit of a run? 2 Masters now in 3 years. That's pretty good. But remember, the only majors he's won are at Augusta, but we've seen dominance from him. He's only the 5th number 1 guy in the world ever to win at Augusta, which is mind-boggling, to say the least. But is this guy going to be a dominant player? Will we talk about him like we talk about Nicklaus and Tiger and Player and Mickelson? Is he that kind of player?
I definitely think he is, and no one seems to be able to stand up to him. Rory had a great chance to put him in a place, and he couldn't Thursday and Friday, and Scotty whipped his butt, and Rory, just can't do it, and there doesn't seem to be anybody that. So I do think this is the Scotty Scheffler era without a doubt.
Mickey?
I think you're right. I think Scotty's awfully strong. There's not a weak part of his game. People want to talk about his putting being weak, but it's really not. And when he does putt decently, he's going to win. And he may even win when he doesn't putt well. So I think it could be a run here of a few years. Who knows what's going to happen when you have a new baby?
Right.
It does change things. We've seen it with Speed. We've seen it with Fowler. We've seen it with several players. Once the family starts growing, it gets a little tougher to spend the time on the range that they need.
What do you? I was going to say beyond kids, and we'll start with Mickey and go to Johnny. What's happened to Justin Thomas, Spieth, Fowler, maybe Jason Day, guys that you really thought were going to be prominent players, win double-digit tournaments and 2 majors or so? What's happened to them?
I think Spieth, has a lot of family life. He has 2 kids now. He does have some injuries that are creeping up on him. So there's a good bit of things that are with him. Justin Thomas, same thing, got married last year. Priorities are different. Changed caddies right before the Masters. Not sure exactly what's going on with him.
Johnny?
I definitely feel like those guys are just fat cats, okay? They got so much money and so much, the big article last year in Golf Magazine on Justin Thomas, it was titled, "He Wants More," and it showed his mansion, his Lamborghini, and, his
Right.
yachts, his jets, and, they're all just overpaid. They have no motivation. They're all rich, and there's nothing there to motivate them.
Who's the best player not to win a major? And maybe he's the next one to win a major. Who's the first that comes to your mind? Mickey?
Well, it's hard to overlook Obear. His first major championship, he finishes second. His demeanor on the golf course is phenomenal. He just looks like he's having a great time. He's happy to be there, and the golf swing is just fantastic. So I would go with him.
Johnny?
I agree with Mickey, but I like Eric Cole, and there's Denny McCarthy, a couple of really good players up and coming.
I think the best player not to have won so far is Xander Schauffele. It's just got to be a matter of time before Xander Schauffele puts together a major. But I agree with you. I think Oborg is going to be the next superstar of the game. Ted Butler says his swing looks so much like Tom Weiskopf's. And the thing I like about him that sort of Scotty Scheffler gets kind of ripped for, and that is he's got charisma like Tiger, and maybe that's a part of the reason why those Masters numbers on TV were so poor, is that as great as Scotty Scheffler is, he shows no emotion. Whether he double bogeys or whether he eagles, the look is still the same. I don't think that should matter, but I think it does matter, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I think it does, but boy, I sure love to watch him play golf. That for a golf guy, that's how you want to play golf, with no emotion and just flat lines. It's wonderful to watch, but I can see for your average viewer on television, it doesn't bring a lot of charisma.
All right, last thing. We start with Johnny. Is Rory McIlroy ever going to win a green jacket? Is he going to complete the career Grand Slam?
No, don't think so. Just not the way he played. Just he just didn't have it. I mean, that's totally my opinion. That's all they talk about for the last 10 or 15 years, and he's just not built for that golf course or something. I don't know what it is.
There's more and more pressure on him, that's for sure. Mickey, what do you think? Does he ever get one?
I think this may be like the PGA for Palmer and Watson. It may be that one major that just eludes them. There's a reason why only a few players have won the Grand Slam.
Yeah, I tend to agree. All right, let's go. We've got a new format at Hilton Head. It is a signature event. This is the 5th of 8 signature events. There's only 69 in the field, and there is no cut. So everybody's going to make money no matter what happens. Zach, with your performance in the 200s last week, you get to go first. That means Scotty Scheffler can be yours.
I know, and that's the tough thing because you brought up the fact that he's having a kid,
I
his
know.
first child. So it's like
He could withdraw, and then you're done.
Yeah, that's the thing. Will I be wise? Will I be foolish enough to skip on Scotty this week? I'm going to skip on Scotty this week.
Okay.
I'm going with Max Homa.
Max Homa. Okay. I don't blame you. Johnny, what do you do?
I'm taking Scotty. Actually, I'm sick of not having him, and it's painful not having him. So,
all right, I'm going to go with the new darling. Now watch him fall apart. But I'm going to go with Oberg.
I kind of figured that might be the fact. Fitzpatrick is the number one in the power ranking.
Yes, he is.
He won last year. Is he going to win 2 years in a row?
Well, he's got a good story. His brother's been involved in this story. They play well at Arbortown.
Right. But I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked at this. That means, Zach, you got a shot.
Let's go with Colin
Morikawa?
Morikawa.
All right.
He had a good week last week.
Yeah. Johnny?
some reason I want JT Poston.
Oh, he's high on the rankings. Well, if they're going to give me, I'm taking Matt Fitzpatrick.
All right, that leaves Patrick Cantlay for me.
Yeah. All right, Zach, one more.
Oh, you took one of my picks, Mickey. I don't know about this one. Let's do Siwoo Kim.
Wow. Okay. Johnny.
My final pick is going to be Sahith Theegala.
Oh, I love Theegala. I really do. Man, they're leaving me some pretty good players. Nobody's taken. Nobody has taken Cam Young, have they? No.
Nope.
No. You know what though? I'm going to go Brian Harmon. Give me the little lefty.
Coming off of 47, I think his last 9 holes at the Masters. But
yeah. I understand that.
I'm going to go with Tommy Fleetwood. Sure played awfully well.
Oh, I love Tommy Fleetwood, yeah. There's another guy. I think he's on – he may be second on the list, honestly, of veterans who are great players who have yet to win a major. I think Tommy Fleetwood, because every time there's a major championship, he seems like he's in the top 10.
he plays awfully well.
Certainly had a
on
great,
hard golf.
he had a great Masters, no doubt.
All right, Zach's got Max Homa, Colin Morikawa, and Siwoo Kim. Johnny's got Scotty Scheffler, JT Poston, Heath Theegala. I've got the new guy that's going to be the superstar, Oborg. I have Matthew Fitzpatrick and Brian Harmon, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay, Tommy Fleetwood. Those are good picks, Mickey, especially for going forth. Those are really solid picks by our chief of Memphis City Golf. Thank you guys very much. We'll do this again next week. We'll tally it up and let you know.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, I want to say one thing quick. Happy birthday, Wolo.
Thank you. It's not for a few days. I got till the 20th.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I know.
I appreciate that, though. Thank you much.
All right,
That is Johnny Lyon, Mickey Barker, Zach Boyd. We got to take a break. When we come back to Baton Rouge, we will go. I will let you know this portion of the show brought to you by Grind City Brewing. Not only do they have this great product, and I know you love Poppy's Pills, and you love the Pale Ale and the God Hopper. You love the Belga, the Blue Moonish thing, but you love the place because the grounds are so gorgeous. View of the skyline, view of the bridges, just north of downtown, literally 2 minutes, and this modern brewery. But here's the thing. It's becoming a venue. They have all kinds of acts that come in, entertainment in this beautiful setting. And last week, Brian Takis, our friend, went to the concert there, said it was incredible, as good an experience as you can get. That's the thing about Grind City. Remember, just a few years ago, this was a dream of a father and a son. Now it's a business. It's a venue. It's amazing. It's Grind City Brewing, taking care of entertainment and beerness in Memphis for many, many years. Back in a second, we go to Baton Rouge. Ron Higgins, our SEC historian, is standing by, and he's next.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Hernando, Little Rock, and Cleveland, Mississippi specializes in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps, fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price, with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate with autopay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
It's time to get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, where we're celebrating the 75th anniversary sales event, and it's time you got your new V-Dub on. Get ready to take your pick of 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice, $279.99 a month. Pick the right Volkswagen for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Sports. Or get 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SE for $33,988. So get it done and be ready to ride at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road. Online, GossettVWG.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Crossport RC 236449, MSRP 38981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax on license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
To Baton Rouge. Here we go. Our SEC historian. That is Ron Higgins. He stands by. And we put to bed. We haven't talked since the NCAA tournament, and few stories have happened in college basketball since then. Let's start with UConn, what Danny Hurley is doing. 2 straight national titles. Every tournament game wins by double digits. Can you remember a more dominating era than this by a particular school since John Wooden?
No, because we really hadn't had anybody like that. I mean, it's hard to find. I mean, Florida won 2 in a row, but not as dominating as this. I mean, they're just, separating themselves from people easily in game on the biggest stage. It's been impressive. Danny Hurley's not exactly a likable guy, but
that's for sure.
But his teams perform well. I mean, they've been win by double digits all the way through is pretty amazing. Like I said, on the toughest stage in college basketball. So hats off to UConn. They were clearly the best all the way through. Just like South Carolina women's basketball was clearly the best all the way through.
Yeah, I thought, the championship games were very similar, where there was a good first half in both games. And then the better team, the deeper team, pulled away and won by double digits because they were the better team.
Yeah, I mean, if you have better players with more of them, a lot more of them, you're going to win by double digits if you play to your capability. I mean, simply because you have more bodies, you have more fouls to give, you can play more aggressive defensively because you have more fouls to give, and so. South Carolina in women's basketball was the best team all year from start to finish, and UConn was, and that's unusual to have 2 teams like that in the same year, men and women,
right,
who were that dominating start to finish. But it happened this year.
Well, Dawn Staley's teams lost 1 game in 2 years, 3 games in 3 years. I mean, you want to talk about eras? I mean, and she's doing it with a lot of different players too.
Yeah, I mean, she rebuilt her whole team this year. And listen, next year's team's going to be just as good. So everybody else in women's basketball was really chasing Dawn Staley again. She's done a really nice job of putting together a program that every program wants to be like.
You go back a long way, as far back as me, when we talk about watching and covering college basketball. Did you ever in your life, seriously, think you would see a women's championship game in the Final Four get better television ratings than a men's championship? I never thought I would live to see that. We saw it this year.
I never thought that either. But after the way last year's championship game in women's game really kind of set the stage for all of this year and the interest it created, I kind of figured it probably would. I mean, you had some dynamic personalities, and you had the best team in women's house basketball. You had Caitlin Clark. LSU was still there with their drama. So there was a lot, just a lot in play there. The next step for women's basketball is to make sure they get the colleges get the TV revenue from women's basketball, which they don't right now.
Do you think they can repeat the kind of interest? Clark's gone, Cordosa's gone, Reese is gone. Now you still have Dawn Staley, you still have Kim Mulkey, you still have Gino Auriemma. Beckers is coming back, but do you think they can repeat the kinds of numbers they've gotten the last couple of years with television and fan interest?
I think this snowball has started. I mean, I don't know if you're going to slow it up, but as long as you have personalities, I find when women's coaches allow their allow their players to kind of be themselves more than, say, men's coaches do. And it seems to me you have the personalities come out on the court. And honestly, your women's coaches have more courtside personality than the men's coaches do, because they're kind of buttoned up, not like they used to be. But they used to be back in the 80s and 90s. I mean, you had every coach had a personality on the sideline, a big personality, and now you really don't. I mean, we see this. A lot of guys just sit there, and I know every coach has a different style, but a lot of them, to me, are just too buttoned up. And I like to see a coach who's active and who's into it, and it kind of gets the crowd into it also. So, I just think of the spark Arkansas is going to get with Calipari.
Well, I was going there next. Calipari. If I were a guy taking bets, I would bet that Calipari, who's now driven to prove himself again, he is going to have all kinds of success at Arkansas. What did you think about the way all these maneuvers went? Musselman leaving. Here comes Calipari, now the 5th choice, 6th choice, 7th choice, whatever it may be, but a pretty smart dude. Seems to have charisma. Mark Pope getting Kentucky. Give me your thoughts on all those scenarios.
For Eric, it was a good move. I mean, he done much he could do at Arkansas. Didn't have a good year last year, and he's a West Coast guy. He's kind of going home, so that worked for him. Cal needed a fresh start, and I think it's good for coaches to get fresh starts. I still think Cal can coach. I just think he needs a new situation. It's kind of like Steve Spurrier told me one time, because I think every coach should move after 10 years.
And he was there 15.
Yeah, he gets stale. He goes. I think he was at Florida like 11 or 12. He could get stale, and Cal was there 15. Things get stale, and he goes, and as Spurs said, besides, when you go to a new place, you can tell all your old jokes, and they all sound funny because somebody's heard them before.
Right. You're right. And then Pope, what do you think about his odds?
I'm kind of jury's out on that. I mean, I don't think he's. Has he won an NCAA tournament game at all? Even won one?
He's taken BYU to 2 NCAAs. I don't know that he's won a game.
Yeah, that seemed to me to be. This is the only guy we have left higher. We swung and missed on everybody we wanted, and let's go get an alum, who is probably the best alum coach out there we have right now. So let's go get him. I don't know if this is. The jury's out on Mark Pope.
I think that's fair. I think he's real smart. I think he's got a shot, but can he bring players? Who knows? Next week, we'll talk a little spring football. Thank you, Mr. Higgins. Appreciate you. Talk to you a week from now.
All right, Wolo, take care. We'll see you.
That's our guy, our SEC historian. That is Ron Higgins down in Baton Rouge, brought to you by the Eflin Insurance Team. And there's the team behind Matt Eflin, and they all think the same way when it comes to protection for your home, your car, life insurance. It's to get to know you. It's collaborative. They want to know all about you and your family, what's important to you, what your budget is, and they find the perfect car insurance, mortgage insurance, and, of course, life insurance for your family's future. Then, if you've got a small to mid-sized business, same philosophy. They're going to get to know your product, your employees, what you're all about, forecast you out a little bit, what's your budget, and then if you've got a small to mid-sized business, they find the perfect commercial insurance. All you got to do is make this call, 901-386-4777. 4777 spells out GUR because they're big Tiger supporters. Get protected the right way, the collaborative way, where they get to know you. Get easily in touch with the good team at the Eflin Insurance Company. 901-386-GUR, the Eflin team. That'll do it for us. Johnny Radio's right around the corner. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everybody.